Okay. Fucking hell. No, we can't start with that because we'll get demonetized on YouTube. Should we go again?
Yeah, okay, go for it. I'll just cut this bit out. It's fine.
Right. The sirens have sounded. The emergency podcast has launched. I was in the middle of making a delicious fruit salad not 15 minutes ago, and I got a call from the most excited boy in all of Heresy, Robert Medwell.
Oh
Said,
man.
"Where are you? What are you doing? Like, we
That,
need to
that
just,
that those are literally the words that I said. And I said, "Have you checked your phone?" He was like, "No, I've not checked it all day." I was like, "What are you doing? My God."
mate. I've got other stuff on, but it turns out that other stuff can be put aside for such a
Ah!
monumentous, yeah, yeah." Yes, my life has been turned upside down in the last few weeks for various reasons. Even more so today because Games Workshop have been trolling us all the entire time.
So a plan, their dastardly plan all along, and I think quite a stroke of genius. But if you've not seen
Mm,
it yet, or perhaps we can pop over to the next slide, and then
it's coming, Robert.
it's here for
It's here.
all those doubters. It
Yeah,
is here, and if people really want to say, "Oh well, it's just a troll," no, come on, it's coming, it's coming.
it's a coming. It's a
So,
coming.
um, it is a heresy. It's Thursday today. It is
It is
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So this
mean,
is
yeah.
big heresy Thursday. This. So,
Does it get
they
bigger?
no. So okay. So let's just calm
Let's
down just
everyone
all
just
for a
take a
second.
breath.
So they
Everybody, take a collective breath.
so they dropped a video on YouTube.
Yep.
Um, and on that video was a comedy spoof, I guess. Somebody mentioning that the Horus Heresy is on the release schedule. And then there was kind of like a bit of a jokey Horus Hearsay kind of thing with her colleague. And that's all we got kind of left with. But this is a multi-pronged strategy because if you go to Instagram, Warhammer have set up the Horus Hearsay Instagram account. And on that account, they've linked to a website as well. But on that account, the first three pictures that they posted are things on the website. Little snippets, I think, of things that are or could be coming. And quite an interesting move, isn't it? I mean, from a
Yeah.
social media point of view, they've
Yeah.
really controlled the narrative.
Oh, haven't they just? Some guerrilla marketing has gone on, Rob.
Really, really is. And I think that
100 men versus one guerrilla marketing, I think it is.
exactly right. And I think that what is good about this is that they've really bent those rumors to their will in this situation. So they've
Yeah.
really controlled the story because rumors have been flying about for a long time. And Varak obviously just before, like the day before
Mm.
Adepticon, he was like, "Oh, Horus Heresy is coming," but it didn't come. And but something has been teased here. So if we just go over to the next slide, we have. Well, why don't we read it through? Why don't you
Mm.
take us through it, and we'll
Okay,
go
so
through
we'll start off
image
with
by image.
hot news. So we're hearing that Horus Heresy new edition box. So it is a new edition. It's a new edition. It's not just a new box. It's a new edition.
Woo!
Is definitely coming and features salamanders, shock horror, as the main faction. Unexpected, but we're here for it. Finally, some glory for my guys in green. So I think when the command squad sprue, like we've been hearing rumor for ages that the box is Salamanders versus Iron Warriors, and then the command squad upgrade dropped, and it had your generic Legion transfers, i.e., Sons of Horus and Imperial Fists, and then it had Salamanders and Iron Warriors. And at that point, we're all kind of like, okay, there's some substantiation behind some of these rumors we've been hearing, and
Yeah,
and here we are. Not only that, we've got green plastic, Rob.
I know it's exciting. And what looks to be maybe the top of a, I don't know what this could be, the top of a backpack or something like that. It's
Yeah,
kind of
top of a
curved
backpack.
curved in that way, isn't it? And some kind of
Yeah.
blade and what looks
Oh,
like a crack or a frag grenade in the corner as well. So,
yeah, definitely. That looks like that's a grenade if ever I've seen one.
ooh, mama.
Okay, so push fit heresy. Found this, thinking it's green for salamanders. GW usually use the color sprues for push fit stuff, underworlds, etc. Thoughts on push fit minis in the horror in the big heresy box? Don't
I
mind
don't.
it.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with it at all.
No.
Yeah, and
Do
it's
you think it's Mark II, Rob? Is the question.
do I think it? it's Mark II.
It could be Mark
No,
II
that
backpack,
now that
couldn't
you've
it?
said that, actually, yeah, that does look a bit like a Mark II backpack.
So
Yeah,
we've
that's
heard. So
interesting.
we've heard right that Mark II was going to be the release for this
We had
box,
that
right?
for a long
We've
time,
heard that
but
for a long, long, long time. So
yeah,
what
yeah,
the things we've been hearing and the things that I've been hearing more and more recently are Saturnine Terminators, Mark II, rapiers,
yep,
and a Saturnine Dreadnought.
yeah, and a big gun, a big old
A big old
emplacement gun.
gun.
Yeah,
Yeah, big old gun, the sort of thing that an armor warrior might use for besieging some sort of
that's
fortress, right?
that's definitely true. Yeah, that's definitely true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hate push fit. I
No, I don't
think
hate it at all.
yeah, it's just easier to put together, and it's like it fits more with their introductory kind of like box
Mm,
thing, and it's what we
yeah.
saw for like the Leviathan boxes, and yeah, I think it's fine. It's
Don't mind it.
pretty standard.
Genuinely. Well, I think as well, let's kind of rewind the clock a little bit to almost 3 years ago, nearly 3 years ago. So again, this would fit with the timeline and the release
Yeah,
schedule. And we had the release of the Age of Darkness box for the second edition, right? And I think there was a big push at the time to bring Horus Heresy into the mainstream. So it was going to come off of the pages of Forge World and Specialist games and move into a main like a mainline game. And so much so that as part of things like the shareholders report, at the time Horus Heresy was listed as one of the main games
yeah,
alongside Age of Sigmar and 40k. So it would make sense that a box set for a new edition would be there to entice, obviously, existing grognards who just can't get enough of Heresy are going to buy it anyway. But it wants to be accessible for those people who are either completely new to the system, maybe they are consumers of the Black Library content, and maybe want to kind of understand more about the game and get into the game system. It might be returning players, or it might be people who are somewhat disillusioned with playing other game systems or want to try out a proper game and want to be enticed into it. So I don't hate if it's push fit. I don't hate if it's multi-part. I just like the fact that it's coming.
yeah, yeah, 100%.
Um,
So just to say as well, because it had been my yeah, what the sequence of events was and whether this was pushed back is an interesting discussion, and whether
mhm.
this was what's in the box was meant to be like one of those battle boxes, and then they've decided to make the decision just to put a new like rule set. Like I think that like it's unlikely we'll ever know the actual story of these miniatures in these boxes, but it did feel, I think, with like the command squad dropping with those transfers, perhaps the things within this should have come out sooner, but for some executive reason they've rolled it in
Mm.
to the new edition box. I may be just making that up, but it just seemed to me that
But it's nice to speculate, isn't it, Rob? It's
oh yeah, it's so
fun. It's
fun. It's so
fun to
fun. It's
speculate.
so fun to speculate. You're absolutely right. I agree. But we also, aside from push fit and green plastic, we also got this new picture, or a picture of a foot. And I seem to remember them vaguely doing this when the Warmaster Titan was
Yes.
released, or at least there was a picture floating around of a foot, and people were like, "It's got to be this Titan because this is the same
Yeah.
foot from eons ago." So it says, "Seen this doing the rounds. Looks like a Heresy era dreadnought. Don't recognize it. Looks massive. Maybe Leviathan. Redemptors in 30k. Looks big. What do we reckon?" Well, that is clearly in the box. There's going to be some kind of Walker, some kind of dreadnought,
Some
right?
kind of big old boy.
Yeah, whether it's bigger than a Leviathan, this paragraph seems to suggest, whether it's going to be the size of Redemptor. But it's definitely got the, I mean, just from the foot, it's got the look of the Doredio feet, the kind of like the toes that that's got, as well as the kind of the actual plate itself looks like a Leviathan
It
plate.
does,
So
yeah.
so maybe some kind of bigger, heavier duty shooting
Yeah.
walker beyond
Yep.
the Doredio.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
Pretty cool.
it's fun to speculate,
Oh man, yeah. There'll be
but
people
yeah,
like drawing like, we could maybe punch this into AI and see what then AI has to say
yeah.
about like drawing the rest of it. But
So
we've got a little like just the edge of a gun here. You've got the crotch plate obviously there, but then some kind of weapon on the left hand side.
yeah, so we had heard the one of the big rumors doing the rounds was that there was like a Saturnine style dreadnought alongside some Saturnine style Terminators. And
Mm,
certainly the Saturnine is one of those things that it's been in the artwork since forever. And
yeah,
it's never appeared. And I would say it is one of the most popular like third party produced pieces. There are so
Yeah,
many interpretations produced um, by third parties that it would make sense for there to be some sort of official model.
yeah,
I would like I'm here for it. Like Saturnine Terminator is not necessarily my preferred aesthetic, but at the end of the day, like
yeah.
more is better, right?
I agree, and I actually think, I mean, we've said this a number of times, which is actually over the past 3 years, although we've got lots of new shiny plastic kits, which I
Hmm.
don't resent at all, absolutely love. The number of brand new things that weren't necessarily in
Very
plastic
slim.
can be probably counted on one hand. You know, the Kratos, the Aethon Sentinel, for example. So it's really exciting to see new models,
Yep.
new painting opportunities, new hobby opportunities. And I think that whatever it looks like, it's always good to see these things in the wild when actual hobbyists kind of get them and have an opportunity to kind of
Yeah.
like convert them and stuff like that. So yeah, could be really cool. But there is a bottom of this page. So if we just go to the next one, so a rules overhaul. Now this is going to be the most controversial bit, I think,
100%.
because if this is what this is suggesting, basically we're getting a new edition, which which means that we're going to get a new rule book, which means does it then invalidate the previous rule books that we have, the existing rule books, and are
Hmm.
people going to have to buy those rule books again? Because that's particularly if you're a veteran of Horus Heresy 1.0, your books lasted for a really long time,
Yeah.
whereas are we now moving to basically a 3 year cycle? Or alternatively, if we're not moving for a 3 year cycle, which is basically the writing sims on the wall, is this just basically a cleanup? Because this was play tested apparently during COVID, and actually maybe there are things that needed to be tighter, things that they couldn't put in place just because of the play testing and what happened to the world at the time. So maybe this is an edition that will just last longer than 3 years, but is essentially just like a cleanup of 2.0 and adding in things that they didn't necessarily like that they wanted to put in but weren't able to test.
Yeah.
There's so many question marks, like, and
Yeah.
we haven't been told, we don't know. So, but yeah, so rules overhaul. Do you want to read it to us and then let us know your thoughts?
I sure will. Apparently, Rob. Apparently, according to this spurious website, there's a D18 in the box. Obviously, something we've never seen in Heresy before. So
Well,
I
I've
mean,
never seen. I don't think I've even seen it in real life at
no,
D18, but yeah.
it's pretty rare that that GW moves outside of six-sided dice, isn't it? Let's
Yeah,
be
that's
honest with
right.
you.
Yeah, that's right.
Um,
I think this could be the most troll part, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't be shocked, and I also wouldn't hate it if it was a massive troll. Like it wouldn't be beyond the realms of possibility.
Yeah.
So D18, 18 legions, two theories on this. Maybe some new mechanic for choosing legion specific special rules or some sort of legion supremacy role. We'll see if we can find out anything
What is,
else.
I mean, the word supremacy is interesting because it was also capitalized
Capitalized.
as well.
Yeah.
So that suggests that that is something, and it
Mm,
like and something new that we've not seen. And when you introduce new words like that, like supremacy and things like that, that also suggests that this is more than just a incorporation of the fact. That suggests that something fundamentally
yeah.
has changed.
It's interesting because as well, we have had our ear very close to the ground for a long time, and we have heard a lot of things that have a good degree of substance. But
Yeah.
we made an executive decision a long time ago to be very, 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 very coy and cautious about discussing kind of rumors because we didn't want to upset any apple carts anywhere really because it really didn't feel like it's not really been our kind of our jam to be kind of quite so what's the word I'm looking for? Um Help me
Contra
out here, Rob.
co-
Controversial is probably
controversial,
right.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
but
controversial
probably
would
what
do.
I mean, we've talked about rumors, but the rumors we've
Yeah.
talked about are probably I don't know, 1/100th of what we've probably heard in
Yeah,
total.
and also largely it's not us that's been putting them out. They've existed
Yeah,
in the ether and we've kind of just discussed our thoughts and feelings around them.
yeah,
But we've heard, lots of rumblings for a long time from various sources. But actually I don't remember ever having heard anything about a D18
Never,
previously.
never. No, I think this seems to me like the unlikeliest part of whatever
Yeah.
it is. This seems to be like, yeah, as I say, the unlikeliest part. But we shall see. So predictions for when? So we've got this. I want to say Nova, but maybe that's not right. Like some sort of convention coming up
Yeah.
in the next couple
Oh,
of weeks. Yeah, that's all. They gave us quite a lot, but that's we've got this
sorry.
convention coming up on the 22nd, I think.
Yeah.
And is there a chance that the Horus Heresy New Edition will be previewed there? I think, in general, the consensus is from most people I speak to that it will probably be shown that sorry, it makes sense that it's shown there because then it will allow a summer release.
Yeah,
Um,
in the
there.
same way that second edition was released in the middle of summer, right? So, and that would follow quite nicely with, you could feel like it would be previewed sort of mid to end of May and
Mm,
allow sort of 6 to 8 weeks build up
yeah,
and hype, and then released potentially in July, for
yeah,
instance, or August. So you can definitely, you can definitely see that happening. And again, that would
mm,
correlate well with the release or the kind of the build up that we've seen recently with things like Old World and with Age of Sigmar, New
yes,
Edition,
yeah,
and New 40K as well.
yeah.
Again, we don't know anything. We know
No,
so little. We
yeah,
know no
well,
more than you guys right
yeah,
now. Well,
yeah, yeah.
potentially
Well,
we might know more, but we don't know anything concrete.
no, nothing
So
concrete. No, I yeah. So I guess the big questions walking away from this episode, and I think will probably be in lots of people's minds. So a new edition is coming. I think that's fairly clear. It's going to be
yeah,
coming in 2025. I think that's very 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 clear now. It's going to be coming in the next 3 months, and it's going to be previewed probably within the next 4 weeks. I think from a marketing strategy, it doesn't make sense that much to like build up hype like this now
for
and then
long.
say leave it for like 6 weeks
Yeah,
and then release something. So I think we can be pretty sure either they're going to drop feed things in every other day, every other week, or every week. It's going to be drip fed to us
maybe on a
until
Thursday.
maybe on a Thursday. But I suppose the big questions come, which is my army, the current army that I run, the 3K army, is it invalidated? And what do I need to add to it to take away from it? That's going to be a big question on people's minds. The legacies, like what that looks like, whether it exists, whether it's in its format any longer. That's going to be a big question for people. So for me, like I have a 10-man squad of Locutarists. I take them all the time with Ultramarines. Like, are they gone? Are they validated? Am I
Yeah.
going to have to make them into a command squad now? So that's going to be a big
Do my
one.
do my Iron Havocs move into a book, or do they move into the bin?
Yeah, exactly. Literally that.
Yeah.
Literally that. And the next one, of course, is going to be, are my rule books invalidated? So I think it's quite clear that your rule book is going to be invalidated. But are we going to get invalidation of the campaign books? And bear in mind, it feels like we've only just had the Dark Mechanicum
Yeah, Martian
book,
Civil War. Yeah.
the Martian Civil War. Like it really feels like we really, that's only just dropped, and it doesn't feel like we've had the rules for KDS Next and those characters very long.
No, we've not
So
even had the models for some of the
for
guys
very
that we've
long,
got
no,
rules
no,
for.
yeah.
We haven't seen Camba Diaz yet, and he's got rules, no model, and potentially could be invalidated in
And it
six
wouldn't that
weeks.
be a strange situation? The fact that we've got rules for him but no model, and then they just go, okay, well actually we're just going to release him in a
Hmm.
new book, right? So
I
yeah, I
think the
think yeah,
worry would also be as well, and I can understand this concern for say, let's say Mechanicum players, for instance, they waited a really long time to get their book. They've just had a massive release of new models and to go with their new rules, and all of a sudden that stuff needs to be shelved because
yeah.
it's no I can't see a way that there aren't now going to be rules for everything on release. I can understand why necessarily rules on release for second edition because
Sorry,
the rules
yeah,
been
of course, I know what you're saying.
been
Yeah, I
around for such a
understand.
long
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
and they were clear that the plans were for these big model miniature releases,
yeah,
either moves to plastic or new miniatures.
yeah.
And I think it would be a big, I think it would be a big PR kind of win for everything that currently exists that you can walk into a store and purchase today to have rules upon release.
Yeah, well, I
Whether
mean
whether they,
that's a
whether
big one. Yeah,
yeah,
that yeah,
whether everything that is possible to be purchased has rules upon release, I don't know. But if you were to be able to walk into your local Warhammer
yeah,
store
yeah,
and purchase a Mechanicum army
yeah.
that doesn't have any rules and isn't current in the
Yeah,
game upon release, I think
because
would
what you're
be
saying is in the second edition,
yeah,
Custodes players had to wait
Yeah,
Mechanican players had to wait.
solar players,
Solar
definitely.
Auxilia had to wait for
Militia
all their books
players,
before they could
demons.
start. Yeah, they could start
Correct.
playing.
Yeah,
And the point you're making is from day one, are
yeah.
we only going to have Legion rules,
Again,
or people are going to have to wait? Because yes, I think you're correct on that one. Or will they fill them in with something temporary like a PDF?
this is,
Um,
and I think that would be acceptable. We look at the way that, for instance, Old World dropped, right? It dropped with rules for that you bought two books, one for kind of like the bad guys and one for the good guys, and everything had rules inside it. Some of them were quite basic, but in theory, you could pick up the game on the first day, and then we had the full books dropping periodically over time.
yeah,
I would be absolutely fine with that as being a scenario. So on
yeah,
the day one, I can go and see some friends, and we can get a game together, and we might have a demon player and a mechanican player and four legion players, and everyone can play with their toys on day one and kind of get their head around the game in the way that they want to play. I do think it would be quite counterproductive and quite odd to
pretty
step back.
pretty poor form, I think, if
Yeah,
they didn't. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, but we'll have to wait and see. I do think that given Heresy's kind of status within the kind of the Warhammer world now, that I can't see that happening. I think it would be madness because I think you would alienate
yes.
so many people.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Um,
yeah. Just to say, this is us just ruminating on it. We don't
oh
know
yeah, yeah.
anything
We
about
no
this.
no 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 no
Like
no no.
before people start kind of having a meltdown in the comments, like we don't know. But I mean, we're kind of illustrating our hopes, which is everybody can play on that day one, isn't it? That's
Yeah,
that's
that
what
would
we
be
want.
that would be that we want. We want as many people involved as possible for obvious reasons. So, well, with that in mind, like now is the best time ever to subscribe to Heresy Hammer on YouTube if you're not already,
Yeah,
because
more
because
lots of things to come.
there's so much to go through, and obviously our coverage will be even more extensive than normal. So I think Rob and we're going to have to record some additional kind of stuff to go alongside our normal main
Yeah,
show releases anyway. We
yeah.
might have to have a little bit of a think about what our release schedule looks like.
I mean, we have so for Patreon users, we have already discussed what that is going
Yes.
to look like between now and the new edition. So do not
Yeah.
panic. Like we actually kind of the team have already been working on what content there will be for the Patreon. So just keep an
Yeah.
eye out on that
There
one
won't
because
be a content vacuum. It will
no,
be
no, no.
sucking content into it.
Yes,
So
yeah,
like a
yeah,
black hole.
yeah.
So don't worry on that front. On that front, like if you would like to support Heresy Hammer, you can do so by visiting patreon.com/heresyhammer. Like truth be told, like this is a great time to be alive, right?
Isn't it just? Isn't it just?
Yeah.
This is so exciting. Yeah,
Yeah.
they played an absolute blinder. Looking forward to it. And yeah, if we've got more updates in the coming weeks, we'll do a lot more emergency podcasts.
Oh, absolutely. You can certainly count on that. Rob and I need to make sure that we keep a bit of time back every Thursday to just
Yeah, good idea. That's a good idea, actually.
just,
Yeah, yeah,
just jump on an emergency pod, sound
yeah,
the alarm, and get recording. Right. Obviously, like we're desperate to hear your feedback, and the easiest way of doing that is just jam a comment down below.
yeah.
We'll respond to as many as we possibly can. If you want to feed the rumor mill, then the best way to do that is on the Heresy Hammer WhatsApp community,
Yeah.
which let me tell you is
It's popping
is
off. It's popping
is
off.
I've had to mute my phone because it's just going absolutely bananas. So if you follow, there'll be a link in the show notes. If not, head over to Instagram, and in the bio is our link tree with a link to the WhatsApp community there. That is the absolute best way to discuss unsubstantiated rumors about what's coming. Yeah, and thank you all for joining us. And yeah, this concludes this emergency broadcast on the Harry Hammer Emergency
Absolutely. In
Network.
fact, I'm going to try and get this out so quickly. I'm not even going to add the theme music to the front of this episode. I'm just
No,
going to literally put it
yeah,
out. Yeah,
yeah.
it's going to
Sorry
go
to our
straight up.
sponsors, you've not paid for this one. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Our bad.
Okay, right. Love you all. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.
Bye, guys.